Have you ever noticed something? The people who smile the widest are usually the ones breaking the quietest. Nobody hands out an award for surviving a Tuesday when your chest feels like a closed fist. Nobody claps when you get out of bed after a night you don't even remember falling asleep from. So today, I'm gonna open you up. Not with a blade, with the truth, the dark psychology of pain decoded piece by piece. And by the time these next 20 minutes are done, you're going to look at your own scars completely differently. Sit down. This one hurts a little before it helps a lot. Here's what they never tell you. Pain is not a malfunction. Pain is not proof that something is wrong with you. Pain is data. Cold, honest, unbribable data is the only feedback in your entire life that has never once lied to you. Everyone else lies. Your reflection lies when it says you're fine. Your group chat lies when it says, we should hang out soon. Even if you lie every single morning when someone asks, how are you? And your mouth says good while your chest says something else entirely. But pain never lies. Pain simply tells you something here matters, and it's being ignored. Society taught you to treat that signal like an alarm to switch off. I'm here to teach you something different. If you actually sit for the next 18 minutes, I promise you, something in you shifts, not comfortably, correctly. Are you still with me? Good. Keep your eyes open. This gets darker before it gets useful. Let's talk about the performance. You wake up, you put on the mask, the good one, the convincing one, and you walk into a room full of people, and you perform fine so well that even you start to believe it. You laugh at the right moments. You reply to texts with an exclamation mark you don't feel. You say, I'm just tired instead of I don't know how much longer I can hold this. And the terrifying part, nobody notices. Not because they don't care, because the performance is that good. You built it that good, on purpose. Because somewhere along the way, you learned the honest version of you was too heavy for other people's hands. So you started carrying it alone. That's the loneliness nobody talks about. Not the loneliness of an empty room. The loneliness of being surrounded by people, and still being the only one who knows what's actually happening inside your own head. The funny thing about self-worth is that it doesn't collapse in one big moment. Nobody wakes up and decides, today I stop believing I matter. No, it erodes, one ignored text at a time, one you're overreacting at a time, one time too many that you needed someone and got silence instead, until one day you look up and you don't even recognize how small you've made yourself just to avoid being too much for anyone. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. Here's the thing though. That pain you've been so busy hiding, it's not your weakness. It's the most accurate map you own of exactly who never deserved access to you in the first place. But to understand why you were taught to hide it, we have to talk about who benefits when you stay quiet. And trust me, that part is darker than anything I've said so far. Listen closely. This is the part that matters most. Society doesn't reward honesty. Society rewards convenience. Think about it. The moment you say what you actually feel, the moment you say, I'm not okay, or that hurt me, or I'm angry, watch how fast the room changes. Watch how people who claim to love you suddenly get busy, suddenly don't have the bandwidth. Suddenly I need space, because your honesty cost them something, comfort. And people will forgive almost anything before they forgive being made uncomfortable. So what did you learn? You learned to package your pain into something digestible. A joke instead of a confession. I'm just tired instead of I'm drowning. You learned the mask isn't a betrayal of yourself. It's a peace treaty with everyone too fragile to hold your truth. That's the hypocrisy. Nobody puts on a motivational poster. This whole world claps for authenticity, right up until your authentic self becomes inconvenient. Then suddenly you're too much, too negative, too dramatic. Funny how that works. They didn't want you healed. They wanted you quiet. There's a difference and nobody ever explains it to you. Normal, by the way, isn't real. Normal is just a costume. Enough people agreed to wear at the same time. So nobody has to look directly at what's underneath. Every single person walking past you today is holding something they've never said out loud. Every one of them. The mask isn't your flaw. The mask is the entrance fee for being allowed in the room. Once you actually see it, you can't unsee it. And that's exactly where things start to break open. Because somewhere in your life there's one memory, one specific moment where the mask cracked. Someone saw it and they left anyway. Stay with me. That memory is where the real realization happens. You know, the moment I'm talking about, maybe it was a friend who actually knew what you were going through and disappeared. The moment it stopped being easy to be around you. Maybe it was family, the people who were supposed to be unconditional, who made your pain into an inconvenience at the dinner table. Maybe it was someone you trusted with the real version of you, and they used it as ammunition the next time you argued. And you did what you were trained to do. You forgave. You said it's fine. You told yourself I shouldn't be bitter. I should be grateful for what I have. You buried the anger, because somewhere you learned that anger makes you the difficult one, the ungrateful one, the one who can't let things go. Here's your realization. Ready? That anger you buried isn't a flaw in your character. It's information. It's the most precise instrument you own for detecting exactly which relationships were real and which ones were just convenient. Real ones stay when it's expensive to stay. Everything else was just a transaction wearing the costume of love. Everyone wants to know how you got broken. That's the question they're always so hungry for. What happened to you? Wrong question. A completely wrong question. The real question, the one that actually matters, is, what did you build after? Because here's what nobody tells you about pain. It doesn't just take. If you let it, it teaches. It teaches you exactly how much you can survive. It teaches you who is real. It teaches you that you're still standing, still breathing, still here, after the exact thing that was supposed to finish you. That's not a weakness. Read that again. That's not a weakness. That's proof. So here's where it changes. Here's the shift. Stop performing wellness for an audience that never checked on you when you weren't well. Say that with me. Stop performing wellness for an audience that never checked on you when you weren't well. You do not owe anyone a cheerful face as an apology for surviving something hard. You do not owe silence to keep other people comfortable. And you certainly do not owe your energy to people who only show up for the highlight reel and vanish the second things get real. Here's a mindset most people are too scared to run. Stop asking to be understood by people who never earned the effort of understanding you. That's not bitterness, that's boundaries. There's a difference. And once you learn it, you stop bleeding yourself dry trying to translate your pain into a language certain people were never going to bother learning. And your pain, instead of hiding it, instead of numbing it into silence, instead of apologizing for it, use it. Let it become fuel. Every ounce of hurt you've swallowed is stored energy. It's proof of capacity. If you survive that, you can build almost anything you want with the strength it took just to still be here. This doesn't mean carrying it alone forever, talking to someone who's actually earned your trust. A real friend, a therapist, someone qualified. That's not weakness either. That's strategy. But stop outsourcing your worth to people who already showed you they weren't going to hold it. Own your story. All of it. The parts that make people uncomfortable too. Because the moment you stop being ashamed of your own pain, you become very, very hard to control. And that terrifies people more than anything else you could ever do to them. So picture it. Picture the version of you on the other side of this. Someone who doesn't flinch anymore when the room goes cold on them for telling the truth. Someone who stopped begging silently for people to understand and started simply living fully, whether they understand or not. That version of you isn't loud about it. That's the part people get wrong. Real transformation isn't a spectacle. It's quiet. It's so calm. Other people can't quite explain because they're used to being able to shake you. And suddenly, they can't anymore. They call it unpredictable. They call it different now. What they're actually describing is someone who finally stopped negotiating their worth with people who never intended to pay full price. That's the person pain was quietly building this entire time. Not a broken person, a rebuilt one. One who knows exactly how much weight they can carry, because they've already carried more than most people will ever survive. You stop performing for approval. You stop shrinking to keep others comfortable. You stop mistaking silence for peace, when really it was just you, disappearing a little more every day to avoid conflict. And in its place, something steadier shows up. Not happiness necessarily, not yet. Maybe, but something more useful than happiness. Solid ground, that's the transformation. Not the pain goes away. the pain becomes proof. Proof you're still here. Proof you're still standing. Proof that whatever tried to finish you didn't. And once you actually believe that, sitting there, listening to me right now, that's when the real truth arrives. The one I promised you at the beginning. Stay with me. This next part is the whole reason you clicked on this video. Here's the truth underneath every truth I've told you tonight. Pain never broke you. The lie that you should never have felt it in the first place. That's what broke you. Every time someone told you to move on, to get over it, to stop being so sensitive, that didn't help. That was them asking you to abandon the one part of you that was actually telling the truth. You were never too much. You were simply too honest for people who'd built their entire lives on comfortable lies. And the second you understand that you really understand it, in your chest, not just your head, you stop apologizing for existing at full volume. Real power isn't pretending the pain never happened. Real power is standing in front of it, fully lit, and saying, yes, that happened to me, and I'm still here anyway. That sentence, right there, that's the most dangerous thing you'll ever say to a world that was counting on you staying small. So stop being ashamed of your scars. Start reading them instead. Every single one of them is proof of a war you won and never got credit for. Nobody's coming to save you from your pain. Good. You were never meant to be saved from it. You were meant to be forged by it. So here's what I want you to do. Not for me, for you. Stop performing fine for people who never earned your honesty. Sit with your pain for 5 minutes today, instead of running from it. Just 5 minutes. That's the whole assignment. If this hits something in you, if some part of you just went quiet in a way that felt true hit-like, tell me in the comments which line found you. I read every single one. And if you want more truths this world is too polite to say out loud, subscribe, ring the bell, because out there, they'll keep telling you to smile through it. In here I'll always tell you the truth instead. Pain doesn't break the strong ones. It builds them. And you were built a long, long time ago.